Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So, my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work with the Caron Cotton Cakes in making a point crochet shawl. Now she's wearing it here as a kerchief, but it's big enough to be a shawl as well. And this design works from the very top and can go as big as you need it to go. It takes 5 balls of the Caron Cotton Cakes to do this. Let me show you what this yarn is all about, and then we're going to get started in making this together. So here is the Caron Cotton Cakes. This is exclusive to Michaels, and this is made by Yarnspirations, and you can see when you look at it, you can see the colors of happening inside the ball. So it's going to start off with this beautiful color and then transition as it goes. So in this particular shawl that you see, it's called Beach Glass with the original sample. It looks absolutely just spectacular. It's one of my favorite colors of the whole lot. So turning it over, it is 60% cotton and 40% acrylic. This is not dish rag cotton. This is more fashion oriented cotton, and then you can see with the twist that it looks amazing. So today's shawl, you're going to need a 5mm size H crochet hook. You'll need at least 5 balls for this particular shawl, but again you can make it as big as you want to. So let me show you my sample that I'm working on, and I'm using this particular color too. So this shawl is called Make a Point. Look at the point. It's really quite sharp and it's really awesome. So it's not like a nice turn of a granny square. It's actually really quite pointed, so it looks really quite awesome. So my plan is to get you started as we start off in the middle here, and then once we get to a certain point in this pattern, it's just repeating in 2 rows over and over and over. So once we get to these bobbles that you see here, it's just a matter of doing 1 row of bobbles, 1 row of double crochet, bobbles, double crochet all the way to the end. So if you really pick this up, and you can really see the popping of the bobbles out of the project, the bobbles will always pop out on the one side, so that when you're wearing it, it's really quite awesome. So when you turn it over, it's a flat-sided project just like you see, and it's really quite awesome. So without further ado, I'm going to get you started, and then I'm gonna get you to the repeat pattern, and then the rest of this is up to you. So let's get you started today. You're going to need your Caron Cotton Cakes, a 5mm size H crochet hook, and let's create a slip knot to begin. And we're going to just get ourselves started, and we are going to then chain a total of 6. So we're doing the very top back of the neck of the shawl. So let's just chain 6 together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now once you get your 6, go back to the very start one and insert the hook and yarning over, pulling it through and through, and you should have a large round circle, and this is the very center of the back of the shawl. So keep this straggler around the project, and I'm gonna be bearing that as I do my first row. So we're gonna be working back and forth, not around and around, so back and forth. So let's move on now to row number 1. So row number 1, we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet within this project. So every time it says chain 3 at the beginning, it counts as a double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, and into the same ring I want you to place in 4 more double crochets. So let's just do that. So 1. Now just lay the straggler down on top of the ring, and therefore to get stuck in position. So this is 2 and 3 and 4. So if the chain 3 that I started counts as a double crochet, how many do you have? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're gonna make the point. So the point then to make this is chaining of 3. So 1, 2, 3. The chaining of 3 is always gonna be at a point. So whenever you get to a point, always chain 3. And now we're gonna come across the other side of the shawl, and now there's gonna be 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you should now have 5 double crochets on one side, the chain 3 in the middle, and then 5 double crochets on this side. So let's turn our work and do row number 2. So row number 2 is a solid row, so we're just gonna fill in the spaces that you need to do. So let's just chain up 3, so counts as a double crochet. So 1, 2, and 3, and in the same one where that's coming out of, it's gonna be another double crochet. It's called an increase. So just double crochet in the same one. So therefore you should technically have 2 double crochets out of the same spot. That's gonna be a regular thing going out throughout this whole shawl. So it'll happen on this side and this side. So now what I want you to do is that I want you to place double crochets in each one of the double crochets that are already there. So let's just continue to do that. So the instructions say that it's gonna be 4 double crochets in a row. You don't really need to count it if you don't want to. If you're confident with your skills, then you can just blaze along just nicely. So it's 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets going all the way to the point. Now in the point, what you have to do this time, because it's a point, there's gonna be 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets all within this chain 3 space. So let's begin to do that. So it's 3 double crochet first, then chain 3, and then 3 double crochets back into that same space. Now you're going to work on the other side of the shawl. So essentially every one of these double crochets gets 1 except for the very end. You're going to put 2 into there to make it do the increase like I kind of talked about. So I'll get there in just a moment. So making sure you get the very first one, so just going in and just double crocheting all the way until you get to the turning chain. And in the turning chain, this one, don't go into a space, go right into the chain itself. I want you to place 2 double crochets in there, and that's called your increase because you're putting 2 into the same one. So we started off with 2 into the same one and we're finishing off with 2 in the same one. So that was row number 2. Now if you buried over top of the strands like I kind of showed you, you can just safely get rid of that so that it's not bothering you. It's kind of bothering me, but so let's move along then, and we're gonna go for row number 3. So let's turn our work first. So row number 3, we're just going to have some more fun. We're not getting into the full pattern yet. We're just getting ourselves to the level that we can do that. So we're going to chain 3 and you're gonna double crochet into the same one underneath. So that's your increase. Now what you want to do is that we're gonna start and create some gap spaces. So you're gonna chain 1 first, skip the next one and double crochet into the one after that. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the one after that. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the one after that. Chain 1, skip 1, and you're going into the last one right before the chain 3. So you know that you're right. So then we're gonna move into the chain 3 space, and in this one here what we're going to do is to, again, 3 double crochets first. So 1, 2 and 3, followed by chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then coming into the same space put in 3 more double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. So as you move then on the other side, see how you put in a double crochet right before the chain 3 space? So this side there's a double crochet in the first one and then you're gonna do all that skipping of stitches. So you put 1 in first, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next. You're gonna do that all the way back to the end. So chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next, and now chain 1, and the skipping one you end up on the very last one here and you're gonna put 2 double crochets into the turning chain, which allows you to have the increase like you did when you first started. And this was row number 3. So you can see the spaces are now in. So let's move along then, turn our work, and let's get ready for row number 4. So row number 4 and 5 are the repeats for the remaining of this whole thing. So now I got you established, and now we're ready to begin. So in row number 4 it's all just strictly double crochet. So we're just gonna chain up 1, 2, 3, there's your double crochet, and you're gonna add 1 right to the same one to do your increase. So as you're working your way across, you're gonna put in a double crochet in each one of the double crochets and spaces that you find. So you're gonna go into the next double crochet because it happens to be there, and the next one is a chain 1 space, so you're gonna go right into that space. And the next one is into the double crochet, and the next one is into the space. And you're gonna do that all the way to the point. So every other row from this point on is strictly just double crochets. And you're gonna you're not skipping any more stitches just like you see down here. So you're just working your way right until you get to the last stitch right before the point. So what do you think is gonna be in the point? It's already what you know. So you're gonna put in 3 double crochets first, 1, 2 and 3, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet 3 more times back into the same space. So there is your point again, extending out. So now you're just gonna continue to double crochet yourself all the way back, 1 in each of the double crochets, and chain 1 spaces, and make sure that you start off. If anywhere you're going to screw up is by accidentally skipping this first one, so just make sure that you are getting the double crochet right above that first stitch. Okay, and then you just keep on going. So double crochet either in the double crochets below or in the chain 1 spaces. So this is row number 4, and you'll be doing this every other row. The next one is going to be your bobbles, and the bobbles are not a big deal. That's what makes the texture of this whole thing pop. So you're gonna go right into the space, and then you have the 2 last ones here. So the first one of the 2 is just a regular double crochet, and then obviously the turning chain is an increase, so there's gonna be 2 into that one to maintain the growth that you see. So you can see that it's getting bigger, and that was row number 4. Let's turn our work and begin row number 5. So I'm gonna take my time on row number 5. So row number 5 is it's all pretty easy. It's just a matter of making sure that you're starting off right and making sure you're getting your right counts, and if you start off right, then it's all gonna work out on you. So you're gonna chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and in the same one you're going to put in another double crochet so that you have your increase. So in this one here is that we are going to put in another double crochet into the next one, and then we're gonna start the fancy work that is involved in this particular one. So what you're going to do is that you're going to chain 1, skip 1, and bobble into the next. So watch how we do that. So you're going to put in 4 double crochets into that same one. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you're going to release that off the hook, and you're going to then just go into the top of the first 4 and insert in and put it on the hook and pull through. And then it says to chain 1 to lock, but here's the thing, you need to chain another one to maintain this pattern. So you chain 1, and I'm gonna tell you in the next time we do that why I'm telling you like this and why I'm gonna tell you differently in the next. So you're gonna skip 1 and double crochet into the next. Okay, chain 1, skip 1, and bobble into the next. So the bobbles are consisting of 4 double crochets first, and this is what I'm gonna tell you that is slightly different from what I just told you, is that you're gonna release the hook, you release it off there, you're gonna go into the top one and you're gonna pull through, and then you have to chain 1 to lock it, but then you have to do another chain 1. So when you're done a bobble like this, I would say just chain 2. So go 1 and 2. And what I would recommend you do is that you skip 1 and then double crochet into the next, chain 1, and then skip 1 and bobble into the next one. So I'm just gonna speed up just a little bit. If you can make it easier for yourself with easier memory hooks, it becomes a lot simpler. So release it off, go into the first one, pull through. Now you chain 1 to lock it, and then chain 1 to skip a space. So just say you're gonna chain twice, skip the next one, and double crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip 1, and this is gonna be the last bobble of the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, release it, pull through. Okay, so chain 1 to lock and then chain 1 to skip the over. So here's how you're gonna do the point. The point sounds complicated, but once I explain it to you, it'll make a lot of sense. So let's take our time doing that. So the point is made up of 1 double crochet, 1 bobble, and 1 double crochet on one side, and then you chain your 3, and then you have the double crochet, bobble, and double crochet on the other side. It sounds easy when I say it that way, but it's not written that way in the pattern because it has to be technical. So after you're ready then, so you've chained your 2 after the bobble before you're gonna jump. So you're jumping over the 1 stitch. So you're just gonna double crochet first and then you're gonna bobble. So what you can do is that the bobble is made up of 4. So what you can just say to yourself is that I've just skipped over and I'm gonna do 5 double crochets. You could just say that to yourself to keep it easier in your mind. But the second part of this is the bobble. So you just go back and count 4 back. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and there's your bobble. So you have 1 double crochet that's by itself, the other 4 are part of the double crochet. So you can just say you're doing 5 double crochets. You're going to lock it and then double crochet 1 more time. So you only, in the corner, you only have to chain 1 after you do bobble, not chain 2 because you're not skipping any spaces. So now you're physically going to turn. So you're gonna chain 3 and then coming into the same space, just move it out of the way if there's not enough space. You're gonna double crochet 5 times. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. So this is part of the bobble, so just counting back to the 4th. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. There's your bobble. Okay, so you got 1 double crochet by itself. There's your bobble. Lock it and then double crochet again. I'm gonna show you the point again in the future, just one more time. So now after that double crochet is in, what you have to do is chain 1 first, skip 1, which is the first one, and then bobble into the next. So if you're really looking at it, you've got a bobble and a double crochet that separates it. So that's why you're starting off with the bobble this time. Okay, so there's 4, drop it, pick it up, chain 2, 1 and 2. So 1 was to lock it, 2 is the actual space jump, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1 and then skip 1 and bobble into the next one after that. Okay, so once you're 4, drop it, pick it up, pull through, chain 1 and 2, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1 and then skip 1 and bobble into the next. And you're gonna do this all the way back. Now the trick to remembering how to do this is to remember how you're finishing to keep your counts. So chain 2, skip 1, double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1, bobble into the next. So this is my last bobble. A, I know that from experience, but B, it's from the pattern as well. And then you're just gonna pick it up, chain 2, so 1's to lock, the second one is to jump. So you're going to jump over this one and you're only gonna play in the last 2 stitches that you have. So the last one, second last one is just 1 double crochet by itself, and in the turning chain you want to place in 2 double crochets. So here's how I remembered it, is that when you're finishing off the bobbles, when you started you had an increase, so you had 2 in the first one and 1 into the next. So when you finish there should be 1 on its own and then 2 on the very end. So let's turn our work and we're gonna repeat number 4 this time. So let's go through this again. So rounds number 3 or 4 and 5 get repeated. So we're gonna start off and we're gonna chain 3, counts as a double crochet, and in the same one you want to place in a double crochet. So you're going to place in a double crochet in each of the tops of the bobbles and the spaces in double crochets. So you're just gonna work your way across. So that was going into a double crochet, there's another double crochet, and now there's a chain 1 space. So go right into the space and then into the top of the bobble. Okay, there's a space after the bobble if you remember, and then the next one's a double crochet that you're going into, and then there's a space and then a bobble. Okay, space and a double crochet. So you just remember to fill in the spaces as you go and make sure that you only put 1 double crochet in each one of the spaces. So go into the bobble. Now the trick to this is to look at the very tip to make sure that you get it right. And I'm gonna be there in just a moment to give you solid advice. Okay, so I'm in the space right before I started the point. So there's technically only 3 stitches here. There's a double crochet, there's a bobble, and a double crochet before you hit this point. So there's not the spaces like we had when we were working up the sides. So you're just placing in 1 double crochet in each of those stitches. So 1 into the double crochet, 1 into the bobble, and 1 into the final double crochet, and then you're gonna hit the point. So the point is exactly what you know it to be. It's gonna be 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. And we're gonna just turn, and then you're going to go across. So right here in the point you know that you have a double crochet, a bobble, and a double crochet. So you're just adding 1 double crochet to each. So there's no spaces in the point section at all. Okay, so now you're just gonna make sure that you get everything in, and I can see that I just made a mistake. So what I can tell is that I have a double crochet, a bobbin, and a double crochet, and what I've done is I accidentally put 2 double crochets in the bobbin or the bobble. So I just want to make sure I get that first one over there. So if it's stretching over, that's fine. It's what creates the loop. So this just happens to be a starting. So if you happen to get anything like this, this is really not part of my tutorial, but if you happen to get this when the yarn is transitioning from the industrial cones from each other, and you get that, just take it out. No big deal. And what I want you to do is just back it up a little bit, and I want you to just make a slip knot with the new section on the other side of the knot and finish that off, leaving the other 2 stragglers down on top of the line. It'll be pretty much invisible. So you're just gonna carry on with the new strand and just bury up over top of the other 2 strands. This is how you get the maximum amount of yardage out of your balls. So after you get your point done, in the chain 1 space there's gonna be a double crochet, again going right up over top. The other one's a bobbin or a bobble, sorry, and the other one's chain 1 space. The next one's a double crochet, and as soon as you bury that yarn long enough, just get rid of it and just cut out the remaining of it so that you don't have to worry about that ever again. You know, a lot of people don't like knots in their balls, but the truth is that if that was the case, that ball would end up in the garbage, and it seems not right to do that. You don't want to waste yarn, right? So you're just making 1 double crochet into each of the spaces or the stitches. Just be very conscious of when you're over top of a bobble and when you're into a space. Okay, and bobble, and I'm coming up to the very end, so I have a space before the bobble began on this side, and then you have the remaining. So you got 1 and 2, and then you got your turning chain, which has 2 into that one. So technically when you're looking at it from this point of view, is that you have 4 stitches in the end, and then when you turned it over you had 4 stitches then when you started. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 based on what you see below. So in the bobble row it'll always be 3 at the end, but then in the double crochet rows it'll always be 4. So let's review on how to do bobbles again, and let's return our work and do a repeat of row number 5. So let's repeat row number 5. You're gonna chain up 3, counts as a double crochet, and you're going to increase. So you're gonna put 1 right into the same one, and you're going to put in double crochet right into the next one, and then you're gonna start the fancy footwork. So there'll be more bobbles because the distance is more. So you're going to chain 1 first, skip 1, and bobble into the next, and you're gonna do that all the way to the point. Okay, so you got your bobble in, and you chain 1 to lock and chain 1, so you're chaining 2 total to be able to get that space jump. So jump the next one and then double crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip 1, and bobble into the next. Okay, and then drop it, pick it up. So chain 1 to lock, 2 to be able to jump the space. So jump the next space, double crochet in the next. So please do that all the way to the point, and I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm getting close to the point, and I've double crocheted, chain 1, and I'm doing the bobble, and the bobble is the one before the very end of the row before you start switching over to the point. So you see it's one right before it. You're gonna finish your bobble, and you're going to chain 2. So one's to lock, the second is the space, and then you're gonna start in the point. So we're gonna double crochet first. There's no chain 1 after it. You're gonna bobble. So there's gotta be 4 in there. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what I would have done in my brain is just double crocheted 5 and then just come back and just go to the 4th one to make my bobble. Okay, lock it and then double crochet once again. So there's total of 3 stitches. So before it was 3 double crochets in a row and then chain 3, so these 3 count as 3 stitches. You're gonna chain 3 and do the same on the other side. So you're gonna start off with the double crochet, you're gonna do a bobble, which is another 4 double crochets, make sure that actually is a double crochet. Okay, so there should be a total of 5 there. So go back to the 4th. Look at this color, isn't it beautiful? Pull through, lock it, and then double crochet one more time. And there is your point. So to start again, you're gonna chain up 1 to give the space, and you're gonna skip the first one, go to the second one, and you're gonna just do your bobble. And you can know that because your one just before you did this was a double crochet right here, see? And drop it, pull through, chain 2, and then skip 1 and double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip 1 and bobble into the next, and you're gonna do that all the way back to the other side. So I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm getting close to the other side. I'm putting in a bobble here. I'm just keeping my counts, you can see. Okay, and dropping it, picking it up, and then chaining 1 to lock, 2 to do the space. So you're gonna jump the next one and you end up with the 2 finals, and so the one that you just jumped over, okay, that's empty. So there's gonna be a double crochet there, and in the turning chain there will be 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. So you can see you can just maintain, and what you're going to notice for this, let's just take a look at this. So you had how many bobbles here? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so then the next time you end up with bobbles you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means the next time you end up with this there'll be 9 and then 11 and then 13. So if you need to keep count, if you think that you're screwing up at any place, just keep an eye on the number of bobbles and that will tell you something's wrong or something is right if you got everything worked out. If you happen to have a bobble that is out of alignment, then chances are you might not have put your double crochets in between them to split them in order to keep all your counts awesome. So this is how you would do this. This is a really neat idea, a nice good point, and this is a make a point crochet shawl using the Caron Cotton Cakes. Until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations as well as thecrochetcrowd.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.